Hello, honey. It's been a long few years. How am I doing? Well, I'm just counting all my tears. You look so happy after all I put you through. It's nice to see you after so long. How's the world been treating you? Well, yes, I noticed that ring there on your hand. Oh, what's his name? Any children? It's okay, I understand. I don't expect you to forgive me, but moving on's my greatest fear. Till then, until I'm ready, I'll just be counting all my tears. The first one's for the memory of the greatest love I've known. And by the time you reach the second, there's a million more to go. Each drop contains a memory of a time when you were here. Now I spend my sleepless nights alone, just counting all my tears. Now I spend my sleepless nights alone, just counting all my tears.
Joshua Hedley, welcome to The Right Note.
Hello.
Beautiful record. Now, we'll begin with the quick question round, and then we'll check your buzzer.
Okay.
Okay, so hope you're poised. Ray Price or George Jones?
Ray Price.
Why?
I like more of his songs. George Jones is a better singer, but I like more Ray Price songs than George Jones songs.
Ray Price had a tone, a particular tone that was good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nudie suits or denim?
Nudie suits.
You're not wearing one.
Well, I mean...
Not for everyday use.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat or trucker cap?
Cowboy hat. Although I'm wearing a fedora currently.
And you have been known
and
to
a Kubra.
And a Kubra, right.
That's right.
Okay. But you have been known to wear a trucker cap at times.
Oh, definitely. I have a really very, very, very cool trucker hat for sale at joshuahedley.com. You can get one.
Check the number across the bottom of your screen. Heartache or happiness?
Heartache.
Always?
Always. I think I go out of my way to make sure that my heart's broken at most times. Yeah, so makes for better country songs.
True.
My pain is your possible gain if you like my music.
You're hurting, so we don't have to.
That's right.
That's very good of you. I mean, was Elton John right when he said that sad songs say so much?
Yeah.
What do they tell you about? What does it tell you about us that we respond so strongly to sad songs?
That's a good question. I think it's vulnerability. I think that's why people like sad songs. because all day we're so, you got a wall up. You protect yourself, and you protect yourself from yourself. Nobody wants to feel bad feelings, but they're a necessity, and they happen. And when you hear a sad song, you let that guard down for a little while, and you feel sadness, especially in country music, because you relate to it so much. That I think it's healthy. I think sad songs are healthy, and I think the appeal of them says that that people are more spiritual and emotionally deeper than they let on.
Or that we find it, songwriters find it harder to be happy in song.
Yeah, it is difficult, especially in country music. Nobody wants to hear. I mean, you think about it, like, all right, I love country music and I love hip hop music, and the subject matter couldn't be more different. And I always, I love hip hop music, but I connect deeper with country music because the things that they are singing about are attainable aspects of my life. Like, I don't drive a Maybach. I don't have millions of dollars. I don't have diamond encrusted jewels all over me. I don't have 100 women hanging all over me at any given time. That is a life that I don't live, But I have had my heart broken. I have been drunk, I've not cheated, but I've thought about cheating, and I've been cheated on, so there's these subject matters within country, and country just lends itself more to more melancholy aspects, and I think it's because they're extremely relatable to everybody.
Well, the country music that's played on this album, have we mentioned Mr. Jukebox? Where can you get this? JoshuaHedley.com?
JoshuaHedley.com, or any fine establishment where vinyl records are sold.
Or even CDs?
Yeah, CDs. They still make those.
Yeah. Only for people, old school.
Yeah.
But the music you make on this it's pretty much countrypolitan.
Yeah.
That richer, fuller sounding country music that wasn't afraid to wear its heart and its string section out in the open. It's the first country music I fell in love with, but it's so not cool. It certainly wasn't cool for probably 40 years.
No, people hated it when it was a thing, like when it was happening.
When it was happening, it was the pop music.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then it was looked down on afterwards as the beginning of the corruption of country music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chet Atkins actually apologized for it later on in his life, and his reasoning was that he was getting so much money for budgets that he just didn't know what to do with it.
Hired an orchestra.
Hired an orchestra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's mine's a little different because I kept the fiddle and I kept the steel. But that was a big thing that people didn't like about countrypolitan while it was a thing, is the fiddle and the steel went away pretty much. And it was replaced by vocal, Jordan Ayers type vocal harmonies and string sections. But people bitched when they put drums in country music. So it's just always the new generation, the generation before doesn't like it. It doesn't matter what it is.
When we first saw you in Australia, when I first saw you in Australia, you were with Justin Townsend, and then it was John Fritz. And at the time, I suspect maybe the idea of being a frontman was probably miles away for you. You were Were you happy being the great fiddle player and backing vocalist?
Definitely. Yeah, I didn't want this at all.
It would have been criminal with a voice like yours not to have it be used, though.
Well, I guess, not to sound like an asshole, but that was the motivating force. Like, that opinion, people asking me to make a record. I didn't really want to. It's a different, like, I had a very, I don't want to say easy life, but I had a very structured life to where I knew, if I go out on tour with Johnny, we'll go out on the road, I'll get in the van, we'll be gone for X amount of weeks, I come back with some money, or, and then I go to Robert's and I play X amount of gigs that week and I make X amount of dollars, The sideman work is, while you do love it, and I did love it, it's very much a job, It's more in line with, employment than it is with art. Because I'm not the one making it, the intro to Hard Life by Justin Townes Earl, that came out of my head. That's my solo. I wrote that. But it's not my song, that's his song. I don't play it at my shows, Shit, he doesn't even play it at his shows. So, knowing that I have a reliable source of income is comforting. And then making the jump, this is some real, I'm talking about the things that nobody ever wants to talk about. Making the jump to being an artist, it was difficult because it meant I had to give that up, And the however many years I spent in a van with Justin and Johnny, I got to see every aspect of an artist's life. I got to see doing 5 phone interviews in a row on the van, I got to see where'd this money go, we can't afford that, well, how are we going to make it work? We have to do it, What do you mean the merch didn't make it to Timbuktu, I got to see the parts, the not so glamorous parts that most people don't want to see, and that is a big deterrent, And then that just compounded with my, substance abuse problems at that time and stuff. I was chilling where I was at, I had no intention of making this record. It was really Australia. I came here and Love Police brought me over and I was doing solo shows. Those were kind of that was my first foray into being an artist. And the first time I came over, I didn't have any merch at all. It was just, if you wanted to hear my songs, you come to the show and then I'll be back next year. That was sort of it. And you guys gave me a ration of it for not having any recorded music. And then I brought shirts over and koozies, and that wasn't enough either. I was like, well, all right, I guess I'm going to have to make a record. So I made a little 4-song EP, brought it just to sell here, just so the people could take something home after the show, and anybody who's done any touring knows that you need to sell merch to stay afloat. I had no idea it was going to turn into this. Like, I had to do some sort of legal thing with it. I can't remember what it was. And a friend of mine who is an entertainment lawyer said, I brought it to him, and he was like, man, this is good. Can I send this to some people? I said, yeah, sure, Jeff. Like, whatever. Yeah, go ahead. And he sent it to 5 labels. They all wanted it. And one of them was Third Man. So now I have this record.
Well, as accidental or unintended consequences go, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy now. Yeah. I didn't want it then, but the more it started coming around, I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of like this. So
You saw all these things from the van. You watched frontmen, solo artists do all these things. Was there anything when you found yourself going from sideman to frontman, was there something that surprised you? Was it maybe suddenly realizing that you had all the responsibilities that a lot of these people, sidemen, depended on you?
Yeah, it's having employees, basically. You know, I mean, my touring entity is an LLC. It's a business, you know, and I pay people, and I have people on salary, and I have employees, and that's something that I've never had to worry about before, and it is a worry, you know. You know, the record has to sell well, and the tour has to sell well, or I can't pay these guys, you know. So it does add another level of it adds a level of responsibility that I didn't have prior. And prior to this, my life was about no responsibility. Yeah. That was my mantra, was always, you know, don't ask me to help you move. I'm not going to ask you to help me move. You know, like, I want as little. I'm going to try. I was trying to skate through life under the radar, doing as little as possible. And this is definitely not conducive to that.
That's right.
Having employees is not conducive to that, you know. You know, a lot of my band members have, you know, wives and girlfriends, and, you know, they're working on families and stuff, and they got mouths to feed and stuff. So that's on my shoulders. I only have my mouth to feed.
No longer, you can't stick it to the man anymore because you are the man.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish with one last quick question round.
Okay.
Tammy or Loretta?
Tammy.
Why?
There's a pain in her voice that's unmatched by any singer, male or female, I think.
Yeah. Loretta could kick ass, but Tammy could feel.
Loretta's great. I love Loretta. Loretta is a badass. She said things that needed to be said at a time when people were afraid to say them. And she's just a hillbilly from Kentucky. You know, I love Loretta, but the combination of Billy Sherrill and Tammy Wynette, you're not going to find any better country music.
Yeah. Cowboy boots or bare feet?
Cowboy boots. Always.
Okay. Grand Ole Opry or any other gig you've played?
Grand Ole Opry. I told my management the answer is yes every time. I don't care what stupid thing I have to move around to be on the Opry. If they call me and they want me to be on the Opry, I'm going to be there.
How was that the first time?
Incredible. It's that whole night's a blur. I almost threw up after. I was so, like, jittery, you know? It was just a wild time playing it for the first time. But that's, like, it was the second time that was, because when you play it the first time, you know, it's really cool to have the opportunity to play the Grand Ole Opry. But when they call you to play it again, that's when it's like, okay, they like me.
Yeah.
Like, they want me to play it. And now I've played it 4 times. And they're really into it. They're really into my brand of country music, and you know, getting to have twin fiddles on stage at the Grand Ole Opry, you know, that doesn't happen all the time anymore. So it's been a real blessing to be able to do that. It's not something I thought I'd ever get to do.
Well, I'm glad Australians annoyed you enough into doing this.
It's y'all's fault.
To bring out, what's the album called again?
Mr. Jukebox, a collection of country songs from myself, Mr. Jukebox, Joshua Hedley, available at thirdmanrecords.com and joshuahedley.com, and fine establishments where music is sold to you, and Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play.
You're ready for late night television. You're set.
I'm working on it, dog.
Joshua Hedley, thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Well, yes, I know I'm late. Getting home tonight. Could supper wait? I guess I've lost my appetite. And you can fix me a drink, and anything's okay. By the way, well, I met a friend of yours today. Well, I was working on the other side of town, and coming home, I thought I'd stop and have a round. And in this bar, well, I heard someone speak your name. And that's how I met a friend of yours today. Well, I listened for a while, and I could tell that stranger there, he knew you much too well. And I introduced myself. Lord, you should have seen his face. What a shame. I met a friend of yours today. Well, please don't cry, darling, 'cause it's much too late for tears. And I'm sorry too, 'cause it hurts after all these years. And ain't it sad that a love like ours should end this way? And all because I met a friend of yours today. Ain't it sad a love like ours should end this way? And all because I met a friend of yours today.